So we just submitted our digital painting assignment 7, the last that I grade. And we move on to unit 15. And now you can see the last 2 units of our course for the last 2 weeks. We have what's called the full concept project, which means it's not based on a certain type of digital image making, like every other project we've done. Instead, it's based on communicating an idea that you have. That is what a concept is. Every decision you make on this digital art project should be to strengthen your idea and how that idea communicates to an audience. And the audience you're concerned about is your fellow classmates. Because just like our midterm critique, your final projects are going to be scored out of 10 points ultimately, based on the idea, the execution, the effort, and the pizzazz that your fellow classmates think your work shows. Right? Because it's based on your idea, you'll also have an artist statement, no more than a page, that you post next to your final project printout. And that can help explain your idea or help your audience understand what you're going for. So full concept projects are the closest to a professional digital art scenario that you'll find in the real world. Because what it does is it gives you something to respond to, and then you have to come up with your own original interpretation. Part of this unit is an interim self-assessment, right? But let's skip all the way past what we're going to start today to what this final project might look like. And that's unit 16. So our theme for this, for everybody, is something you like made of something you dislike. So that is the name of the, think of it as the digital art exhibit that you have been invited to contribute something to. Something you like made out of something you dislike. I made a little link here to an interesting Reddit article, which is what's something you hate but wish you loved? Just because it's kind of interesting to read about things that people hate. Like this person hates waking up, right? This person hates their coworker. This person hates driving, studying, the gym, right? So everyone's likes and dislikes are very individual, and yet there's something universal about them, right? I like ice cream. Something I dislike are cockroaches, right? So an example of this that might pop into my head is I want to express this theme through making a beautiful digital image of ice cream. It's all shiny and has little sprinkles on it, but it is all composited out of images of multicolored cockroaches. Right? That kind of thing. That might be one approach. It can be literal or it can be kind of abstracted, right? You might make something you really love, like your favorite pet in all the world, but you really dislike digital painting. And so you're going to try to make it out of digital painting. Or your favorite pet in the world, you have a lizard you just adore, and you're going to composite it all out of Nazi propaganda posters because you're not a big fan of Nazis. That kind of thing. So that is our theme. How do we approach this? Well, you start by thumbnailing ideas. But before you do that, you have to kind of write what your idea is, right? Like I want to do my pet out of something I dislike. And so you might have a few different approaches. This is a professional example by Akiko Sternberger. She does those movie poster designs. We looked at her for the layout poster project. This was a project she got from Netflix to do the key art for Spike Lee's film Da 5 Bloods, which is about the Vietnam War and black soldiers in Vietnam. And so her immediate ideas were to use the Black Power fist in different ways. And ultimately, that's the thumbnail that became the refined vision, right? Then that idea was supported by finding external reference. This is all part of the proving ground. So that's what we need to do first. Another process example, here is a Godzilla poster that was sponsored by Toho, the Japanese publisher. And they wanted a silkscreen poster, limited edition, that also glowed in the dark. So this is what it looks like when it glows in the dark. Those are all kind of the glow in the dark inks. And so these were the process thumbnails. They kind of wanted to do it like a heavy metal poster, so this was their inspiration. And then they looked at some past poster art and comic book art for colors, for compositions. And then they built it in digital layers with duotone, hard edge, and then separated the layers out for black, red, and then this phosphorescent ink, the glow-in-the-dark ink. And then they had to design their typeface that goes with it. The type design, made that as a vector, layered them all together, and you get the finished poster. And then it actually had to be printed and put into the real world, presented, because that's another part of this. Not just finishing the digital file, but deciding what size you want to print it, the best way to get that presented to the class by critique day, which is a week and a half from today. It's a week from Wednesday. And here are some details and the finished process, right? So how are we going to do it? We are going to use what's called the concept project workflow. And to give you credit for not just working on the final project right away, you're going to do your fourth proving ground on this theme, trying to get a good idea. So the first step is problem definition. Because the show theme is the same for everybody, you have to create your own assignment within that theme. Whether something you like is ice cream, or whether something you like is your pet lizard, or whether something you like is world peace, or whether something you like is donkeys. Okay, donkeys. So, the first part seems deceptively simple, but you're just going to write one sentence that explains your idea. So this student, this past example, even though it was a slightly different theme, it still works for this theme. You'll see this theme works for almost any idea you can have. It just kind of sharpens your point of view on it. So this student really likes memes and really hates cancel culture, right? So what was their sentence? I will use the familiar imagery of memes and cancel culture to satirize our society's need to politicize every bleeping thing, no matter how obvious or important. So how does that relate to this theme? They're making a meme out of something they don't like, which are ideas of cancel culture, right? So what was next? The next one is to write down, sketch, acknowledge the cliches. What are the easiest ways to show that? Well, you kind of show in your thumbnails the most common memes. And then how do you turn those into being about cancel culture? So he took like the butterfly meme and made it about wearing a mask or not, or MAGA or not. He used the I can has cheeseburger meme and made it about like COVID denial. He used a liberty leading the people historical art meme and put like a Karen with a no mask sign. So obviously about cancel culture with that. Okay, that is where I want you to be for next class. To have your statement, either specific or general, and then have 3 different approaches that you can be excited about that meet that statement. Does that make sense? So these are not 3 different sketches of the I can has cheeseburger meme, right? They're 3 different ideas. So one idea, I might think, I want to use a food that I like and make it out of something I find disgusting. That might be my sentence. One sketch could be ice cream made out of cockroaches. Another one could be turkey made out of maggots. Sorry. A third one might be a hamburger made out of dentures. You get the idea? And I don't have to know how I'm going to do those. I don't have to choose whether I'm going to digitally paint or composite or digitally color, or animate. All I have to do is sketch that idea out so that by next class, I can sit with you and we can figure out what you actually want to do, how to refine the idea, how to get you an approach you're really excited about. And then next class, we're going to find reference images to help you. right? You're going to collect reference, and you're going to make a refined sketch. So the refined sketch for this student combined different elements from this to put all into one meme image that they got excited about. And then based on that, with their reference, this was the major meme, the butterfly meme, they were able to set up a personal workflow, like decide, okay, I'm going to do this with digital coloring and digital inking and create a raster illustration, right? And so this was their final project. Does that kind of make sense? So we have to refine the idea. So we're going through steps 0 and 1, because you need to like define your problem before you can solve your problem creatively. And then the first step is just make kind of cliche examples, just whatever occurs to you to solve whatever that idea is. And then bring those sketches and post that sentence by next class so that we can refine it. All right, that's all there is to it. Let's get started.